Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. It's about that time. Let's go take that walk and see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Greg's Beer Reviews today. Hopefully this is going to be a treat. When I went to the Foothill Section with Chocolate thing a couple weeks ago, stopped by Best Way and picked up some beers while I was there. Y'all may have seen the beer run video I did. I kind of go crazy when I go in that store. It's kind of like going into Total Wine. They have so many different beers from across the country. They actually got beers that Total Wine don't even have 2 miles away. I was able to pick up some A.L. Smith's Speedway Stouts while I was there. Total Wine don't even have that. So, great store. If you're in the Greensboro, North Carolina area, and you haven't been to Best Way, you need to go by and see Roger. He's got a whole wall all the way down with beers in the coolers, all the way down. Then in the aisle in front of it, he's got all the imported beers from around the world and glassware and stuff. Very nice operation there. So hats off to Roger for her. He must be a good craft beer drinker, or he knows a good thing when he sees it, and knows a lot of people that come in and are looking for these kind of beers. So very nice store. You need to check it out if you're in the Greensboro, North Carolina area. Pick this one up. This is, I'll probably butcher this all up, Nantahala chocolate covered cherry stout, and these guys are out of Bryson City, North Carolina. I have reviewed one or two of their beers before when I went down on the way to Florida and picked up some of their stuff. And when I was down this last time, I seen this one. Actually, the other half seen this one. She said, chocolate covered chocolate cherry stout. And she said, you gonna get this one? I said, yes. So she picked this bottle up and I put it in the buggy. Wanted to try it. I'm a big stout fan, just like she is. But when she sees chocolate cherries, I mean, the bells and the alarms go off. Oh, I want to try that. So I picked up a bottle to review for you guys. So let's see what this one brings. It may be a C beer and it may be an A beer. We'll find out together. Not been to Bryson City, North Carolina, as far as I know. Not been to the brewery. I don't know how old this brewery is, how long they've been producing beers. So these beers are not available in Virginia. Not seen them around here. So I enjoy picking up stuff like this, or receiving stuff like this when you guys send us stuff in from around the country and stuff that I can't get my hands on here. I mean, like I said, there's no reflection on the people that send it to me, because y'all have no control over the quality or the dating of the beers. Y'all just buy it and send it. But it's a pleasure to me to be able to taste all these different stuffs from across the country and sometimes around the world. I've had beers from Amsterdam sent to me, from Canada, from Brazil. I mean, I've had beers from all around the world sent to me, and I enjoy it. So thank you very much. All right, let's get on with this one, guys. We don't want this to be a 30-minute video. This is a 7%er. I'm pretty sure. Let me read what's on the label. It says chocolate covered cherry stout ale. And it says here, hide your chocolate, hide your cherries. Jack Frost's out to get them in our annually brewed sweet tart liquid version of a holiday classic. A complex stout brewed with a wintry mix of roasted and chocolate malts and Willamette Valley cherries, then aged to salivating perfection with cocoa nibs. Our chocolate-covered cherry stout will knock your woolly socks off and possibly melt away the doldrums of winter. So by reading that, I'm thinking this was done back last winter. and at 7%, this is probably going to keep for a year or two, and I can't think of anything that would keep you from cellaring it for that long. It says here, IBUs are 42, serving temperature is 50 degrees, and according to the bottle it says 8%, not 7% like Rate Beer has got, and it's got 6.10% on Beer Advocate, so they're both wrong. Somebody needs to update the information there, because this bottle says 8%, so they may change it up from year to year, what the ABV is, depending on what they're after and what it ends up being after it's fermented. But this one says 8%, guys. I don't see any kind of dating on the label here. Maybe something on the bottle, but I kind of doubt it. If I remember correctly, it didn't have anything on the last one I've done. So, and being this this type of beer, would be nice to see him put a vintage on it. This was done in 2014, 2013, 2015. But it's not that critical on this style of beer. It's not an IPA or a double IPA or a low ABV beer. 8%er, that's going to keep probably at least 5 years. And whether the cherries are going to fade over time, I'm not sure. I can't think of anything that would cause this not to be cellarable. So if it's a 2014, if this was done last fall or winter, it still should be very tasty, being an 8%er and being a stout. So the commercial description here on Rate Beer is exactly what I just read off the back of the bottle there, so we won't go into that. So let's get over to the food pairings on this style of beer, and it says here, cuisine is barbecue, cheese is buttery Brie Gouda Havarti Swiss, your earthy cheeses, Camembert Fontina, and since it's stout, it goes well with your chocolate dishes. Could be something to go well after you've had your dinner, or with your chocolate cake, or chocolate pie, or a brownie, or anything chocolatey. The meat for this is beef, shellfish, smoked meat, and game, and grilled meat. Glassware, pint, becker, knife, tumbler, mug, stein, and Sidell. I'm going to use my favorite glass today, guys, a solid beer glass. I could just as easily use a double glass or a pint glass. That's what it says here. But I like to enhance these aromas on these type of beers. And these type of glasses with the tulip style, the shape of them, enhances those aromas. As long as you don't pull it full all the way to the top, which sometimes I do, like a dumbass. But we're going to pour it in this glass today. It says here, not recommended for extended sellings unless ABV extends average rates. 8% does. So I would think this beer would keep 2 to 5 years anyway, maybe even longer. If the cherries wouldn't fade in this, I'm not sure. Some of y'all might, more experienced brewers may know if the cherries will fade over time. I've not brewed anything with any cherries in it. I've brewed with some cocoa nibs and done some stouts and porters, but I've not brewed with any cherries before. So let's get the cap off of this bad boy and see what this is about. I'm anxious to see what this tastes like. Nice hiss. Got some openers left. If you need one, give me a shout. Let's see what we get down the center here. Alright, this is a bomber. It's a 22 ouncer. We're going to save a little bit for the other half because she was the one that picked it up and got so excited about it. About a finger of head on that aggressive pour. Over to the light. I'm seeing a little bit of red ribbiness around the small part of the glass down here, but the big bulb part up here, it is pitch black. But a little bit of red ribbiness through the bottom part down here, where it's thinner. So, pretty dark. Very dark beer. Just like stout should be, yeah. But it looks a lot like a porter when I'm looking through the bottom glass here. It's got a little bit of red rubbiness through the bottom portion here. So, good looking beer in a glass. It really is. Let's get a nose on it. See if we can smell any cherries. I'm actually not getting a whole lot of cherries in the nose. There is some sweetness there. There may be some fruity cherry sweetness in there, but it's not standing out. Rich malt. Rich almost to the burnt characteristics of the malt. Maybe some caramel, some toffee in there. Maybe a hint of some dark fruit. Very sweet smelling on the nose. I don't know if they use lactose in the brewing of this or not. Should be able to tell once I taste it. But with only 42 IBUs, it's not going to be very bitter. It smells pretty good. It really does. It smells like a really nice stout. So let's give it a taste. Cheers, everybody. As you can see, the head is basically dissipated, just barely covering the top of the beer. A lot of small bubbles I can see coming to the outside, reinforcing the head. Now in the taste, I am getting a slightly tart cherry taste. I was expecting more chocolate in it than that. Of course, it's right out of the fridge too, so that the chocolatiness and the cherries may come out as it warms up, and then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let it warm up. I always do. Just about every beer you see me review, guys. Even the IPAs, and I usually let them come up to room temperature. I usually sip on them for 30 minutes or so. Some of the IPAs and stouts, I'll sip on them for close to an hour before I come back for the final chug. Getting a little more chocolate now. Getting some cocoa. As it sits, and as I keep tasting it, I'm picking up a little bit more notes of the cocoa and the little slight tart. It's nowhere like a sour ale or a lambic or anything like that. But there is some tartness with the cherries that they've used. So let's let it warm up, pour her a glass, and we'll come back and do the final chug on this one. See where it ends up. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got this little left here. Been sipping on it probably about 35-40 minutes. The cherries are a little more on the tart side than a sweet cherry. The chocolate is there, but it's not overpowering. I was expecting a little bit more from the chocolate and the cherries on this, and it's not there. I mean, it's very faint as far as the chocolate and the cherries. The cherries, like I said, are a little on the tart side, but that's not nowhere near what a sour ale or a wild ale or a lambic would be, guys. So let's do the final chug here. Now that it's warmed up, the cherries are more apparent than it was when it was right out of the fridge. But the cocoa and stuff is kind of subdued. I mean, it's I've had stouts that's got definitely more chocolate to it, but the roasted malt is there. It's a decent beer. I mean, it's definitely above average beer, but I don't think it's quite to the A category, guys. I'm gonna give this a 6. And I looked at the bottle. There is no kind of dating or any kind of year on this. I would like to see a vintage of what year it was produced, especially for this style. Don't need a month, don't need a day, but I would like to see them put a year on it. This was done in 2013, 2014, or when it was done, so we'll know how long to sour it. I mean, for an 8%er, it's going to keep for several years, but I kind of like to have that information on this style of beers, guys. At least a year on the stouts. And I don't know if they're reusing these labels over and over. According to what I've got here on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer, they've got 2 different ABVs, so evidently they're doing some different batches and have different ABVs, and they could print that on the label if they're doing different ABV beers from year to year. So that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to give it to 6, which is a B. If I was putting a numeric rating on this, it'd probably be somewhere around 84, 85. So let's go over to Beer Advocate, and Beer Advocate says 85, and a very good range. I would agree with that. That's about where I put it. And over to Rate Beer says overall 84 and 77 in the style. So 84, 85 that's about where I would put it. Wouldn't argue with either one of those numbers at all. So that's about where I would put it now. So if you've had this one from Nantahala or Hala, their chocolate covered cherry stout. They're out of Bryson City, North Carolina. Let me know what you think. It was good. It was tasty, but I was expecting just a tad more when you see the chocolate covered cherries on the label, and it was kind of subdued to me. I was expecting just a little more chocolate and a little more sweet cherries in it, but when you see chocolate covered cherries written on the label, you don't know if you're getting a tart cherry or a sweet cherry or what you're going to end up with there. So it was good. It was a nice tasty beer. So if you've had it, let me know what you think, and let's go see what's in the fridge tomorrow. See everybody there.